Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to give you a tour of Visual Studio 2017 specifically, and it's going to be a tour of the most essential features that you will use on a daily basis developing software in using Microsoft Visual Studio. So right from the start, you can open up your Visual Studio 2017, and what you see here when you open it is the start page. So here are some general items that makes it quite easy and useful for you to start out. So on the left hand side here at the bottom it says recent. Now this means it will show a list of solutions or projects that you have worked on recently. For instance, it will be grouped according to today, this week. If you scroll down, last week, and this month, and even older than that. So you can find very easily the most recent project that you worked on, and you can open it from here again. So you just basically click on it and it will open up again. Now on the right hand side here it says open. So here it's a couple of quick links just to open an existing solution. If you have an existing project you want to reopen and you don't see it on the recent, so you click here on open, and it will take you to a dialog box where you can browse for the specific solution you want to open. Then below that it's called the new project section, and this is some quick links to start up a brand new project from scratch. For instance, an ASP.NET web application, ASP.NET core, WCF services, console app, and what have you. Okay, so then here in the top left-hand corner, get started section. Now this comes with some links to tutorials, basically a lot of Microsoft websites where they tell you about the latest tutorials and Visual Studio version and all of that. So okay, so let's go into a bit more details now. So let's click on File, and remember you can also come to the recent section or the new project here on the right bottom hand side. But let's go to File and let's have a look at what options you have here. So the first one is new. So this is obviously when you want to create a new project, okay, or website, repository, new file, or new projects from existing code. Then you have an open menu item, and this obviously you can open existing projects or solutions or folders or websites. Start page is just it just shows you this whole start page section here. Close when you want to close this. And here at the bottom we have recent files and recent project and solutions. Once again, that will show you most recent stuff that you've been working on. Okay. So let's go on to File New for this moment, and we select Project just to cover the File New section. And this is going to open up a new project dialog box, and it will give you the various options for the new type of solutions you want to create. Okay, so if you go here on the left hand side and you click on Visual C Sharp, this will basically show you all of the Visual C Sharp language projects that you can possibly create, and they are nicely grouped here according to the kind of solution you want to do. So Windows Classic Desktop is of course for developing standalone executable applications that will run on a user's desktop machine and not on a server somewhere. Okay, you have a WPF app template. This is for the Windows presentation foundation. We have a rich kind of GUI interface with some with XAML or XAML code that you can edit, and you have basically it's sort of the same as a normal Windows desktop application, Windows Forms app, but it has XAML, so you can make the graphical user interface more sleek and more nice looking. Okay, then you have normal Windows Forms application, which is for normal Windows app that will run on a desktop of a user on his PC. You have a console app, which will have no graphical user interface. It will just be a console basically with text input and output. K-class library for a reusable library if you want to create your own library. to store some maybe some functions that you use over and over. Okay, so you have quite a lot of options here. Windows service. Now that is of course a service that will run in the background. It has no user interface whatsoever. It's just a service that you will create, running in the background, doing some operations like maybe say you want to schedule something, a task that every day or every week it imports some data into your database from a file repository somewhere on a daily or weekly basis, and you want to automate that. You can write something like a Windows service, and in a follow-up tutorial videos, I will show you actually how to do that exactly, how to write a Windows service. And then you have empty project, which is just basically empty solution that will give you, and you can add various projects into that solution. And that's about it, what I want to cover in this section. Then you have the web, which of course will give you the two options now is ASP.NET Core Web Application and the ASP.NET Web Application with .NET Framework, with the classic .NET Framework. And once again, the difference between the two is the ASP.NET Core Web Application. Now, ASP.NET Core and .NET Core is a new runtime framework that Microsoft launched, and it's basically there for performance purposes and cross-platform capabilities. So they argue that the application will run about 10 times faster than the classic .NET framework, as well as it's cross-platform compatible, which means that you can install it on any kind of operating system, basically, not only Windows, but also on, say, a Mac OS or Linux, Unix environment, and what have you. Then, of course, the normal ASP.NET Framework web application is we will create a web application which will run on your company's intranet or on the internet, depending on your requirements. Okay, so you also have the .NET Core grouping with all the application templates that run on .NET Core specifically, and then .NET Standard. So they've just gone ahead and kind of grouped things for us to make it easier to choose between. Okay, you will also see your other languages section where you have Visual Basic. In follow-up tutorials, video tutorials like this, I will show you some Visual Basic or VB.NET applications as well. And the only difference basically is going to be the language, of course, which is in Visual Basic instead of C#. Okay, so let's click on cancel here for now, and let's go to a recent. I'm going to go into my recent solutions that I've worked on. I'm going to click on this one, for instance, and then we're going to go into a bit more detail in terms of the IDE. For those of you who don't know, IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, and Visual Studio is an IDE that basically enables you in a user-friendly way to create software applications in a rapid fashion. And I'm going to go into some of the more details in the menu items that we have available here. And let's just wait for it to fire up here. Preparing the solution. And basically it goes now and it opens up an existing application, which is going to make it easier for me to demo the essential features that you use in the IDE on a daily basis. Okay, so first things first. Now, I would like you to go onto the View menu, and let's go through the items available here. So, first one is code. Okay, it just takes you to view the code. For instance, say you have been on a design view. It will, if you click there on View Code, it will take you into the code behind the design. So Solution Explorer, now if you click on Solution Explorer, it will open up, most of the time here on the right hand side, it will open up your solution, a window into your solution which shows you the folder structure that you have in your current solution. Okay. So here we got, for instance, a web application in our solution, web application 4, and this is an existing application that I've written. Now, Okay, so let's go and see what other view items on the view menu. So we have Team Explorer. Now this is beyond the scope of this video. Team Explorer is connects to your basically to TFS or Team Foundation server, which is a source control and version control for from Microsoft. It's similar to other version control and source control applications such as SVN, Tortoise, GitHub, and so on. So this is Team Explorer, which is basically built into Visual Studio. You have Server Explorer. If you click on Server Explorer, it will open up on the left-hand side a Server Explorer, which will show you the various servers you have on your local machine and on your network, and you can expand them and see what's going on there. Okay, data connections. Here you can actually go and say add a connection. You can connect to an existing database server such as Microsoft SQL Server, and this is where you connect to that. Okay, so we're not going to add a connection for now. Let's move on to some of the other functions. Okay, so we have Cloud Explorer, which you're not going to go into. This is beyond the scope of this tutorial, but that is nonetheless to say that that's for connecting to your cloud applications um, and so on. So, and then we have SQL Server Object Explorer, which will basically expand your databases and database objects. Okay, some other useful functions here is, let's see, okay, other windows. This is a very essential feature that we use almost all the time. And here we can see a lot of stuff like command windows, web browser, um, package manager console. Package manager console, I'm going to show you in a short while what that is used for Nuget packages and the like. But this is basically where you get other windows that maybe is hidden at the time when you want to debug an application. We will go into them in a bit more details. Also toolbars, you can customize your toolbars and select what you want to see, like build, debug, or which commands you want to see on your toolbar. Those of them they are found to be found here. Okay, so let's go on to the project menu. So if you click on project menu here, okay, you have various options here. Okay, so you can say add a class to this project, add a new item, an existing item. It's basically the same when you go into your Solution Explorer and you right click here on top of your project. Okay, and the options that come up here, they correspond to the project menu there. Okay, you can see here, build, rebuild, clean, add. Okay, you can select the new item you want to add. So it's basically the same you can do here. Okay, so let's go to web application folder properties. So this will take you to the properties of your actual, just close that, the properties of your project. On the application item here, it will show you, for instance, the assembly name of this application, and you can actually rename it here in the default namespace. The output type of your application, in our case it's a class library as it's a Windows as it is a web application. Okay, console applications you can change it here and convert it if you want. Now this is very essential here, the target framework. This you can choose in which .NET framework version you want to compile this application. Okay, so just remember if you select an older type of framework, you may lose out on a lot of features that you will not be able to use in this application. So normally it will use the latest framework that you have installed on the machine as the target framework. And bear in mind, if you select a specific, a different kind of framework here, and you want to install this application onto a server or a desktop of someone, they must have the same .NET framework installed on the machine in order for your application to run there. Okay, so what else is important here? Let's go on to the build menu item here. Okay, here you can say which configuration to use, debug or release. Debug is mostly what we use when we are still developing the application. And if you set the configuration to release, this is when you're actually going to publish or get your application ready to install. And the platform here, basically, the only option for us at this time is active or any CPU. It will, in other words, it will run on any platform or any kind of CPU. If your server has a Intel processor or whatever, it will be able to handle this application. Um, Same here at the platform target, you can actually change it to 32 or 62 bit. Uh, to compile the applications for only for say a 64-bit environment or a 32-bit or x86 slash 32-bit environment. You can choose which, or you can say platform target is any CPU, which means it's going to be compatible for either of them. Okay, this warning level. This is just for when you build your application, when it's gonna give you what kind of level of warnings and compilation errors. So usually use it just leave it on the default there. Okay, then on the web menu item here. So the start action of this comes into play when the application, when you click on this item, this button to run the application. It's going to check here what to start up, which page to first show in your browser when this web application is start up. Current page, which is going to be basically the current page that you are on in your Solution Explorer. It's going to open the application on that current page, or you can set a specific page. You want to let the application open up to a specific page at the beginning. Okay. Then here down the bottom and in the service section, so you can basically choose where to for this. Now this is a web application, so it's going to run. It needs kind of IIS or Internet Information Server to run. So you can click here IIS Express, which is the mini light version of IIS that comes with Visual Studio. Okay, so if you don't have a local IIS uh, installed on your Windows software on your operating system, you just select the IIS Express here. Otherwise, you can say local IIS, which means the local IIS which is installed in your operating system. Okay, or you can specify an external host, such as an external URL, which is basically which is kind of an external URL on a web server that you might have set up to run this application. So we leave it at IIS Express for now. Okay, and here it will actually show you the port that will run on. In this case, it's 60641 on our local host. It will run on this port when you fire up the application. Okay, right, so let's get into a bit more detail now in terms of building and debugging the application. However, first, before that, I'm going to show you some more essential features here. So let's close this window for now. We go on to the Tools menu. And we have some very nice menu items here. Let's go to let's say options. I'm going to show you here. So here it opens up. You can see you can expand it here on the left hand side. We have environment. So here you can set the color theme for your IDE. Okay, at the moment it's a dark theme that it's using. You also have blue and light. You can play around with those ones. What else do we use here? You can set up the fonts and the colors, things like that. You can play around. That's just basically for playing around with. I'm gonna close this one for now. Now, projects and solutions. Now here you will see you have some very interesting stuff here. For instance, this is a very useful one. Track active item in Solution Explorer. So I'm gonna untick it and show you what happens. Now, for instance, we are on the home controller.cs file. So if we click on Solution Explorer, okay, wait, let's say we close that one for now. Let's open up, say, one of the views. Say, contact. Okay, let's close this up again. Yeah, let's select something else. So, okay, now we're on contact. So now we move to index.html. Now, say we want to, we edit something here, we want to save it. Now, you want to go and see where exactly it is. Now, you see here, it's on app start. It doesn't select this index.html specifically, which is located over here. It doesn't select it. Doesn't track the item that you are busy on at the moment, home controller saving. It doesn't track it here in the Solution Explorer. So let's go to Tools, Options, okay, Project and Solutions, and General. Track active item in Explorer, in Solution Explorer, it's tick that. Click on OK. Now we are on Home Controller. Now if we click Solution Explorer, it'll jump right to that item. If we go to this index page, it will select, it's tracking it. You see here, it's selecting the one that you're on. This is very, very helpful. Okay, now for instance, another nice feature. Now you see on the left hand side, over here we have line numbers in the code. So this is very useful for if you have an error or something, you want to know exactly to which line number you must go. So let's go to Tools and Options again. And let's see if we can find it. Text editor. Shop. Okay. Yeah, it's under our language. So here we have line numbers. So if we're going to take it off, it's not going to show line numbers. Let's take off this and the word wrap. And let me show you. If you take this off, what happens? See, there's no line numbers now. So say, for instance, if, let's see, if I take out some code here, okay, and I jump to another place. So for instance, now I go and build. Okay, so while we're at it, we might as well go into the build menu. So let's click on build solution. This basically means that it will attempt to compile your application's code. Okay, it takes a while to compile it, and then it will give you a result to say that whether it built or compiled successfully or not. You can see at the bottom it says that the build has started, so it's currently building the code. And let's see, and you see it pops up here with an error. So now it says here invalid expression term, line 25. Now we don't know where that is because we can't see the line numbers. Okay, you might double click on it. Then it will actually take you to it. You see here, okay. Let's just put back that piece of code. Let's save it. Click build again, and it will build and compile it. Okay, you can see here it's busy still compiling and building it. Build succeeded, and we have no errors. So let's go back to this tools menu, options. Okay, we go into remember where it was, text editor, C#, and let's put back the line numbers. You see here also word wrap. Okay, I'm not going to put it back. So word wrap means it's going to wrap the code in here. See, here's for instance a very long line of code here, which you have to scroll to see properly. So if you want to get rid of that, you can go on to Tools, Options, and click on Word Wrap, and it'll basically wrap it for you. Now you can see here, it's wrapping it. You see what's happened here. You'll see the small little glyph over here. Okay, to say that this line continues on the next line. And that's very nice. So it kind of wraps the word, the text there. Okay, so let's go back to the build menu. So build means we are compiling our solution. Okay, you also see a rebuild. Now rebuild is basically a clean solution combined with a build. So it cleans it first and then it builds it. If you click rebuild, it does two things at the same time. It does a clean solution and a build. Clean solution, if you click on it, it will clean your solution. Basically, it cleans out all the cached items in your memory for Visual Studio. It empties, deletes files from your debug and your release folders. Okay, which are these two here, but your bin folder, it will clean out the stuff here. That's useful for when it has cached something and it's breaking your code. You can try to do a clean, or you can just click on rebuild and it will clean the solution out and rebuild it, build it at the same time. You scroll down, you will see again build, rebuild, clean. Now this is, now you might ask why is it kind of duplicated? So build solution means it builds the entire solution. Now in one solution, remember, you can have multiple projects. So they can build them all at you can build them all at the same time, or you can build a specific one. In our case here we have web application 4. If you click the build, it will only build this specific project. See, if you go to the Solution Explorer, you can have multiple projects. Actually, let me show you. So you can click on, right click on the solution. You can say add new project, or you could add another project, an existing one, actually two. So let's say if we add a new project, say we want also an ASP.NET Core one. Click on, well, let's just get something a bit quicker for now. Then we want to add a console application. Okay, it will go and basically add another project you see here into the same solution. So you can do that. That's very handy. And you can now kind of build them separately, or you can right click on the solution and build everything at the same time. Build rebuild solution, and it will build the code for both of those projects. Okay, so let's just wait for it to finish the build here. Okay, all succeeded. You can see your rebuild all succeeded. So now what I want to do is I want to run this, run the application. So you see here, if you right click on a project, you have here what is called set as startup project. So this means if you have multiple projects here, but you want to run specifically, say the console app, for now you must right click and set as startup project. So we don't want to run the console app, we want to run this application project. So we're going to say right click on it and say set as startup project. So it will fire up this project. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to show you how to debug code. So debug means we can step into the code at one time while it's executing and see what's going on in the logic behind our code. Let's, for instance, put a breakpoint over here. So what you do is you scroll in your code and you kind of decide where you want to put a breakpoint, where the code must stop executing and give you an opportunity to step in and see what's going on. So basically you toggle it here. So on the left hand side in this grey bar section, you click there on the line. You unclick it. See, and it sets a breakpoint or it unsets a breakpoint. So let's click it there. It becomes this red and green color. Let's set, say, another one over here on about. Okay, and contact. Okay, now we have a couple of breakpoints. So now what happens is if we click here on the play button, what will happen is it will basically fire up the application, it will start the code execution, and it will come to a halt right on this first line where the breakpoint is on line number 18 in this case. So let me show you how that, what that looks like. Okay, so you see here, so it hits the breakpoint and it will turn into yellow. So basically, now you can see, you can stop your code and pause it, and you can let it continue, or you can use, you can step into the code. So if you see here, step into or F11. If you press F11 keyboard, F11 key on your keyboard, it'll step into the actual line of code. So let's click on that, and you can see how it stops and waits for you. So you can hover on variables and things to see what the values are. You can track your code execution in this way. Let's put another breakpoint here. So let's just say continue for now. Okay, great. So let's click on About. And since we have set up a breakpoint here, it'll pause the code right here. Okay, so you kind of get the idea. Let's click on Home again. See, once again, let's take off that breakpoint for now. Let's click on Continue. So let's try and run something here. I'm gonna click on this button. And I'm gonna select something there. And click on Upload. Okay, and you see here it's hit another breakpoint in this function over here. So now you can press F, step into, or F11, and it will go in. So here you can check the values of your variable. Say if you hover over this path variable, you see it has an actual value here. So you can double check stuff in your code and actually see what's going on. Okay. Step through your code slowly and get an idea of what's going on. So let's close that for now. Let's stop the application. And let me show you some other useful essential features in your IDE. Okay, now say you want to add a reference. So now let's go into your Solution Explorer over here. So the very items here. There's a properties section here, okay, which basically has this assembly info file, and this will show you the GUID for this application. The unique number, it will show you the assembly, the version of your application, and anything else you want to declare, import other assemblies. In this instance, I've imported Log4net, which is a third-party logging service, which enable you to log files to a directory. Say you want to track errors in your application or informations or warnings, you can use Log4net to log information to a file. So when you user the application and there's an error or an exception, you want to log it to a file so that you can go and have a look afterwards and see what your application did and what kind of errors it has encountered. Okay, so for instance, now say we want to add a third-party library to our application or solution. You can right-click here on references. You see, if you expand it, it will show you all the libraries and DLLs that you are using in this solution. Let's, for instance, say you right-click here, you click on Add Reference. Okay, you have here on the left-hand side assemblies, projects which you can reference. You see here. So, bring up any other projects in your solution, or you can browse to a location where there's other projects. You have components where you can register, you can add them, like, so you want to use Adobe Acrobat, they have a DLL you can use here, or a type library to say develop applications for Adobe. You can use their API, and there are literally hundreds of them here. You can see. Okay, so say for instance we want to create an application that zips files. So you would typically then need a library to import a third-party library that enables you to use functions in order to write a file zipper. Okay. So you would go here on the right hand side, you will type in here, you will search. So it'll either be under COM or assemblies. If you don't find it under COM, double click on assemblies and then click on research, and say you want to search for that specific library that you know about, system.io. I know it sits in compression. You'll see here in the middle, it will show you the results. So, for instance, in my case, okay, I've added the system.io.compression.file system library. You click it there, it'll become available as a code library in your solution. Okay, and for instance, if I go to my home controller, you'll see here that can import, you can reference it like this using system.io.compression, for instance. And this specifically I added to enable my application to be able to zip files. Okay. In a follow-up video tutorial, I will show you exactly how to do that. For instance, I used it over here. You see this on line 53, zip file.create from directory. So this is only available. I'll show you what happens. So say we take out this system.io.compression. If I delete it there, you see here now it has a red squiggly line here. It says the name zip file does not exist in the current context. Okay, so if we hover here and click over here, it'll bring up a suggestion using system.io compression, and then it will suddenly recognize it and it will put it back in here. However, now say we go here, we added it on in the references. Say we remove this one. I'm going to right click here and say remove. Okay, now if I go and build solution, we should get a compile error, which means that it's the code is not building and it's not compiling, and it's going to tell you why exactly. Let me just show you that. Here we go. So we get an error that says the name of the file does not exist in the current context. And even if we try to go here and click on this to get the light bulb to come up, it will have no suggestion for it. There's no using suggestion. So we have to go and scroll up here on the right hand side now. Solution Explorer, right click on references, click on add reference. We have to go and add it. So make sure you have the assemblies here, and you go and you type in system.io and it comes up. And let's just go and add the specific one. Go OK. And now it should give us the option of adding. Okay, there it's added for us, and that is how you use the references feature here. Very, very important. Okay, another one. Now, say I just told you a few moments earlier about Log4net. So Log4net is a third-party library which enables your application to log messages, log text files to a folder or directory on your local machine or on a server. So say now we want to make use of Log4net. How we do that is we go here. There are several ways. So you can either right-click on your project and you can select Manage Nuget Packages, and that'll bring up a window where you can actually search and locate Nuget packages, third-party application libraries. You can search for it. So you can say Log4net, type it into the search box, and it'll actually find it here. And you can highlight it there, and you can say update or uninstall if it's already installed. If it's not already installed, you will have the option to install it, so you can install it from here. You can also click on your view menu, other windows, other windows, package manager console, and you can actually type it in here. You can actually type in a command. This is like a command line interface where you then use commands to install various Nuget packages. Okay, and say you want to find out how to install, say, Log4net. Go to Google, you can type in Log4net, Log4net, Nuget command. Okay, and let's go into this first link and see this here. And this way you can try and find the specific command to install a Nuget package via the command line. And you will see here, install package Log4net. I'm going to copy this. I'm not going to specify the version. This is a specific version. If you want to install a specific version, you can specify it there as a parameter. You're just gonna type it in there. Install package log4net, enter, see what happens. Okay, and it says in our case it already exists. Okay, so that's great. So if it didn't exist, it would install it. So you can use it in this way. Or as I showed you can right click on your project and go to manage media packages, which brings it up here, and you can search for it and double click or click on it, highlight and click on install, and that way you don't have to use the command line. Okay, and that's basically, this has been a tour of the most essential features in the IDE, and I hope you are a little bit more clear on how to use Visual Studio as an IDE. Thanks for watching, folks, and do stay tuned for more videos, video tutorials like this one, where I will go into a bit more details on other features in the IDE. Stay tuned and click on subscribe. It means a lot to me, and you can leave me comments. You're very welcome to leave comments and to make comments or suggestions for future videos and tutorials. I'll make a point to read your comments and answer them if you have questions. I will answer your comments, and yeah, and click on the like button for this video. It means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. Okay, great, thanks.